Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Prospect Corner here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator. As always, join my other prospect experts here at the site, Dayton Reimer and Peter Baracchini. Peter, how's it going?
It's going great. Yeah. Happy to be, back doing this top 100 because it's been a while since we last did one. And yeah, there's going to be plenty of changes this time around. So really excited to get into it.
For sure. Yeah, there's a ton. I mean, it's an update. We went through it quite substantial at the beginning of the season, the preseason, where there's a ton of drafted prospects that were added. So yeah, it's there's some movement around, of course, the performances throughout the season. So it's gonna be fun to get into it. Dayton, how's it going?
Hey, also pretty good. Staying warm in Saskatoon. It's freezing here. Um, yeah, what was the air temperature? Minus 32 at one point today. Um, with the wind chill, minus 40 or lower. It's so cold.
Yeah, it's funny
Yeah.
because on West Coast here, we're getting we haven't had snow yet at all. So it's like we're it's not even that cold. It's like 10, 11 degrees, which is interesting. But yeah, it's weather's been weird this season. All right, well, let's jump into our top 100 prospects update here. So we'll start with our I guess our 80 to 100. And I'll start with you, Dayton. Between that range, who are you looking at in that 80 to 100?
Yeah, lots of I find that the bottom, I guess, of the list is always some of the most interesting guys because it's guys who you kind of consider as just making the cut, right?
Mm.
But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the Senators prospect. So at 85, we've got Logan Hensler. He was on the World Junior team, which was a little bit disappointing for the Americans, but going home without a medal, it was a tough run for them. They lost a lot of their depth, I would argue. Hensler did receive some criticism for, maybe not being as big of a stud as they wanted. That was kind of going around the rounds a little bit there, but he's been pretty solid with Wisconsin again. He's got 11 points in 19 games, which puts him second on the team defenseman scoring. Yeah, like he's always been a strong two-way guy. And Logan writes that it's been a difficult evaluation over the past 2 years or so, which is fair. Like there's been times where he's looked like a top 10 draft prospect, and there's other times that he's looked like a second rounder or below. I think he falls very comfortably in the middle of that, which is where the Senators drafted him, right?
Yeah.
It's that they got, I think, pretty good value out of a player. You just have to kind of remember that he's not a top 10 player. That was maybe just more of a brief thing. He's emerging into just a very strong, reliable two-way defenseman. He's got great, offensive skills, but I think his defensive ability and his skating are going to be the ones that get him to the NHL and keep him there.
For sure. I mean, it's a guy that I mean, I know what your comments were when Senators drafted him. He's grown on you. It looks like through as time has gone on here. So I think he's still going to be a pretty good defenseman in the NHL once he gets there. All right, Peter, what about you in this bottom group here?
Yeah. Going along like Dayton's line too of like prospects that are like kind of right on the verge of making it, but there's still a lot of question marks. For me, it's Fabian Lysell. And I remember like in his draft year, there was a lot of hype surrounding him because of that speed, the skill, the pace that he could play with. And, couple years out from, it's been closing in on 5 years since he was drafted in the first round in 2021. Still in that AHL level, really hasn't fully carved a role for him. Like you don't know what to expect from him at the NHL level, but seems like at the AHL he's doing pretty well. He's almost a point per game player. Had a down season last year after he was 50 and 56 the year before, and then 37 as kind of a rookie in 22-23. So it's interesting to see how it's going to play out for him because, as Logan wrote, progress has been slow for him in other areas. I mean, yeah, if you got to make to the NHL, you got to adapt. You got to have that, two-way play. It can't just be all offense. You got to learn to adapt. And especially in the Bruins system, they want you to play on both sides of the puck. You can't just be focusing on one aspect. So I think that's the reason why he's struggling a little bit, but also falling further down this like list of prospects because he's club just hanging on by a thread right now at 96. And to go as one positive note, Danny Nelson, I think that he's been an unsung hero for Team USA, and he's an underrated player for the Islanders at this point, and the way that he could get to them in the future. Production may not be there this season, but he is the captain of Notre Dame. So that he's got that work ethic, those leadership qualities. He leads by example on the ice, the pressure, the hard forechecking mindset that he brings every single time. Saw that at the World Juniors last year. I think that this is going to be a big step for him. Obviously it's still pretty low because you don't know exactly where he's going to be, or he's going to be that mid-tier kind of prospect, kind of like Logan Hensler. I still think that, this is a good placement for him, but the upside is very tremendous for him and the Islanders.
Yeah, the Islanders have a pretty strong prospect pool now, and Danny Nelson used to be their top prospect. Now he's not. He's been now kind of fallen down there, but that's good for the Islanders for sure. All right, Dayton, I'm moving to the next group, and it would be 60 to 80. Going backwards here in 20s. 60 to 80. Who do you got in here?
Excuse me. I'm going to go with, I think, number 65, who is Luca Cagnoni, who has been maybe one of the most surprising prospects of the last, well, at least of this bottom 40 group. He kind of came out of nowhere, it feels. He was a 4th-round pick in 2023 by the San Jose Sharks. He is undersized, only 5'9". Got a decent, weight to him, 181 pounds. That's a decent NHL weight. Got some strength there. He was always a big producer with the Portland Winterhawks, but I think there was doubts whether he could take that to the pro level. I believe those doubts are completely erased now. He has, let me see here. I'm not good at adding in my head quickly. He has 77 points in 99 AHL games, and he already has a handful of NHL games under his belt with the San Jose Sharks. This is a guy who knows how to produce points, and there's nothing that's going to stop him. Yeah, like Logan nailed it. He's done nothing but prove his doubters wrong at every turn. He finds ways to create offense. He's a great puck carrier. He's got speed. He can really move. Like, he's got some dynamic edge work. If it wasn't for his size, I think he would be one of everyone's favorite defensemen. But of course, it's the size issue. Yeah. So maybe stop looking at that.
That's always a big thing, and he has really ripped up the AHL since he got there, which, for a guy that of course the Sharks system is really strong, so I think he's going to end up being an NHL player at some point. Peter, what about you for this group of 20 here?
Yeah, for me, it's going to be going to the Seattle Kraken route. Blake Fiddler. I was big fan of his. I know that the production may not be there, but the energy that he brings, he does still have some offensive upside to his game. Like, he's not afraid to join in the rush at all, but it's his defensive presence, the defensive mindset, the ability to cut down lanes, defend well against the rush. That's his MO. And obviously, the Seattle Kraken do have a abundance of talent, be it up front, on the back end, and Fiddler adds to that in a big way. Only 18 years old, and the fact that he's already cracked that top 100, kind of this early as a first rounder, within that top 70 range at 68. I feel like there's a lot of potential with him. And even this season right now, he's on pace to just surpass the 33 points that he had last year with the Edmonton Oil Kings. But again, he's not meant for the offense. He's meant to be a reliable, kind of shutdown, kind of minute-eating defender where you can rely on him in those big game situations to get in front of the puck, eat it as much as he can, but break out and escape all that pressure very well. And he does that, on a consistent basis too. So obviously the Kraken are deep with talent, but even so, they needed to add some defenders and expand their pool, and Fiddler is definitely a great addition to that.
Yeah, Kraken just keep having good prospects, and they're starting to have guys graduate to their system now. Yanni Neiman, he's in the AHL, but he's been in the NHL. You got Berkeley Catton is already there. So yeah, they're starting to have a few guys, and they're pretty strong prospect pool for sure. All right, Dayton, 40-60. Who do you got here?
Oh man, there's a lot of my favorites in this
There's
section.
a lot, yeah.
I might try to sneak in two just because I can, but I'll be quick, I promise. First guy, make sure I got the numbers right here, so that anyone following along can find him quickly. Let's start with the lower one, number 54. Lucas Pettersson has been one of my favorite Swedish prospects since he was drafted second round in 2024. I thought he should have been a first rounder. He is a great skater. He's so smart. He plays just a really patient, intelligent game, and I think that was on display at the World Juniors this year. He looked great. He wasn't always the most noticeable, but when you did notice him, you noticed him doing something right and just making things better. 6 points in 6 games as an assistant captain on the gold medal winning team. I think there was a big reason that, they were able to do that with him there. It was his first year on that World Junior team. I don't know. Maybe there's a correlation there. Of course, I'm painting with a very broad brush here. But he is a special player that I think is getting overlooked because he isn't as dynamic as some of the other players on this list. Jack of all trades, like Logan has right there. He might be a bottom 6 player, but he's going to be a fantastic bottom 6 player.
Oh yeah.
And the second guy, he's 2 spots lower. He's my favorite, Lyndon Lakovic.
Yeah.
I think it's really good to see him at that spot. He is a guy who also can get a little overlooked. And I think there is still a perception that he needs to be a big, tough power forward. He's not going to be. That's not why you draft him. That's not why you put him on your team. He is a finesse player who will outmaneuver you because he has better puck skills, and he also has crazy long reach for 6'4". He unfortunately has been injured since November. That was his last game, November 22nd, and that's not going to help. He was basically the only producer on Moose Jaw this year, starting as their captain. And in 22 games, he had 18 goals and how many? 29 points. So most people have almost doubled him on the team in games. He still leads with goals. Like that's a special player, if you ask me. Like he was, driving that offense. I think the Warriors are going to have a good team in the future. They're kind of rebuilding here and adding a lot of really good young prospects. To lose Lakovic for most of the season is a tough one because he's just so dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, and he, of course, we've said this many times, he should have been drafted way higher, but that's just how it goes. All right, Peter, what about this group here?
Yeah, I'm going to be quick on a couple as well. Obviously Bryce Pickford, big reason why the Montreal Canadiens took him when they did. In the third round, there's a lot of potential that he probably could have been a little bit higher. I had him a little bit higher up, and there's a big reason why. I mean, he's the franchise, record owner of most goals by a defenseman. It's hard to see, or it's very rare to see a defenseman with more goals than assists, and he has 33 already. I mean, this guy just shoots pucks for a living.
Yeah.
And he does a good job with his accuracy to find it and get it through from the point, be it a wrist shot, powerful slap shot. Everyone's going to point to his offensive numbers, but his defensive game was a reason why he was on the draft radar last year, because he took those steps to round out his game. And yes, he's got that offensive mindset. And although, the defense is, a little bit more of an improvement, it's still a hallmark to his game. And that's a testament to him adapting and adjusting his play style to get the attention of the teams. And it's very good to look, or it's going to look very well for the Montreal Canadiens in the near future, because again, team with an abundance of riches. And The other one for me is Isaac Howard.
Uh,
58 right now, and I kind of draw a little bit of similarities to him and Rucker McGroarty, where, he wants to go to a good team. He does. He tries to be all confident and trying to make the team. He does, but the play at the NHL level wasn't quite there. And
yeah.
yes, there's still a lot of boom or bust factor, as Logan wrote in the profile for him. And it's still there because, when you're playing with not Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, or Leon Draisaitl, or within that top
Yeah.
six, expectations are going to be high, and it just wasn't quite there. But when he went down to Bakersfield, 23 points in 16 games, that's perfect. That's what you want to see. He's at least the best player on the team in the minor leagues. It's just right now, I think expectations were a little bit too high on him. Obviously he's got that skill, he's got the playmaking, the dynamicism, the shot. He can do it all offensively. It's just that he just needs to put it together a little bit more. Hopefully this time the AHL is going to help, but let's hope he doesn't stray away from that.
Yeah, I mean, he's been up in the NHL since I believe he's up right now. So I mean, he's going to end up being a good. Yeah, he is. I think he's probably really good on their third line right now, and starting to find maybe a bit of a niche of where he's going to be. He could end up being a top 6 guy eventually too. But yeah, he's been pretty impressive lately, and that AHL stint really helped him out. All right, as we keep moving on, Dayton, the 20 to 40, which we're starting to get into the really high-end prospects. I mean, this whole 100, there's some really good guys, but who are you looking at in 20 to 40?
Again, a lot of my favorites in this section. When you get hired, like these are you're talking about the cream of the crop, right? These are the
Yeah.
fun. I mean, maybe I should pick my words more carefully here. Um, these are the ones that everyone's are talking about, right?
Yeah.
These are the guys that you get really excited about. The lower down on the list, there's some questions, there's some interest.
Uh,
We're into the high excitement area, and someone I'm always going to be really excited about until he makes his NHL debut is Tanner Mollendijk. Um, like of course, we know about his skating. He is a brilliant skater, and that's something that I think will make him a very big asset whenever he joins the Nashville Predators. He is kind of being developed to be their next, I think, sort of quarterback, right? Um, First round pick, 24th overall in 2023. I think he has the skill to do that. Maybe top 4, but like that's the lowest I would say he would be. In the AHL, he's got 11 points in 34 games, which, like, yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot. That's 5th among all under 20 defensemen in the league. He is doing just fine. He'll take some time for sure. He's not ready yet. And like he doesn't have the biggest size. I know we talk a lot about like not worrying about the size. Um, it is still a consideration, especially when you are a defenseman and you are playing that two-way game. He's really good at that two-way game. He can shut guys down, but just adding a little bit more strength because he is on the smaller side will be really important for him. Yeah, really excited to see where he goes. I'm going to follow his career, as long as he's in the NHL. I'm wishing him all the best. He's a great player, really, really smart, and yeah, I think he can make some damage in the NHL that people might not expect.
I mean, we all know Predators are pretty good at developing defensemen as well. So we'll see. Not so much lately, maybe, but they're still there for sure. All right, Peter, 20 to 40 for you.
I'm going to 22, and that's Igor Chernyshев, and I still can't believe he fell out of that first round in 2024 because he's going to fall out of this list because it won't be long before he gets taken off because he's closing in 10 more games with the San Jose Sharks. He's already at 15, but he's looking really solid at the NHL level right now. The compete, the mindset that he has, the playmaking, the puck skills, you name it. This guy has it all, and he's playing well on the top line eventually he was playing with Macklin Celebrini. So there's that chemistry that he's forming already right then and there where, they're working give and goes. They're feeding off each other. He's playing really well and establishing himself already as an NHLer in a very short amount of time. I mean, last year, this is the guy that had 55 points in 23 games with the Saginaw Spirit, 23 and 25 this year, and 11 and 15 in the NHL. He's really adapted to the pro level. after dominating junior in a short amount of time. And no matter where he goes, this is a guy that's really making his presence felt and making it difficult for, the coaching staff and even general manager right now, and Mike Ritter send him back down because he's looking like he's keeping a spot with the team right now, despite them, is playoffs a possibility? Who knows? But he's gelling with the team. He's got the vibes that they're, riding high with this team right now, and he's fitting in very, very well. So just thought I should, highlight him before he gets taken off this list because we'll talk about him later on. But this may be the last time he's here. So
Yeah, he's really close, and he seems to be really fitting into the Sharks system. And that, I don't know if that was really expected from him so soon, especially with all the rest of their great prospects. All right, Dayton, 1 to 20. This is the top of the top, I guess. Who are you looking at here?
Oh man. Yeah, we got to do it. Carter Yakimchuk, number 10. We gotta,
Yeah.
I will quickly mention about Chernishev. I had him ranked 16th on my list in 2024.
Yeah.
I thought he was a lottery pick.
Yeah.
And what is it? He went 35th or something like that, or even lower?
I think 33rd or 34th.
Yeah.
33rd. Yeah. Beginning of second.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I know I'm not an NHL GM. I don't see all the things, but sometimes I got to wonder.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Anyways, Carter Yakimchuk. He, as I mentioned with Molendyke being 5th in under 20 defensive scoring, Yakimchuk leads the list with 19 points in 29 games. That is very good for an AHL rookie. The only concern is that with those 19 points, he's also a minus 23. This is what you expect with Tanner Molendyke, unfortunately. Yeah. He is a high offense, high puck moving defenseman. He knows how to get the puck into the offensive zone and make things happen. He has always been a pretty solid skater. I think there has been some concerns at one point, but he knows how to, he knows how to move. He is great on the offense. Defensively, he's got holes, right? That was never a secret. We were well aware that these are things that he has to work on, and he has worked on them. The AHL game is going to be a lot tougher than the WHL where he was last season, and he's going to get exposed a few times, and he has. But that high-end potential is very obvious right now. It's just he's not ready for the NHL, and paying attention to like the Senators' discussion boards and what fans are saying. You can't really bring him in this season, I don't think. I think that would maybe for a couple of games, but you don't want to have to put him in there too long. You want him to patiently develop in the minors and become a very well-rounded defenseman. Being that he is 6'4", he can become that. He has that skill, and he has shown the ability to be a shutdown defenseman when he is placed in that role, and he has like that practice. He was a little bit like that in the playoffs for the Calgary Hitmen last season against the Blades. He wasn't as offensively prominent. So the Senators definitely have someone special here. I know I've said that for a lot of prospects. A lot of prospects are special. Well, what are you going to do? Yeah, like he has all the tools. It's just now the patience to put them together. And as long as the Senators don't blow things up, which we'll see, things have kind of got a little crazy recently. Then yeah, he'll become a fantastic defenseman, top pairing, power play guy. Yeah, he's a great player.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about defensemen. No, they'll fix their defensive issues. I mean, some don't, but most of the time, it's an adjustment, and they'll do it. I think Yakimchuk's going to be one of them too.
You can teach defense.
Yeah, I've said it many times. Offense is natural. If you have it, you have it. You can't really develop it. I mean, you can maybe refine it, but if you don't have it at all, you're not going to all of a sudden become a great offensive defenseman. But yeah, you can definitely develop the defensive game. All right, Peter, let's finish it off with you. That for your top, or looking at the top 20, who are you looking at?
Yeah, from one guy that's still looking to try and find his place and make the NHL to one that's a for sure fire bet, and that's Anton Frondell from for the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean,
Yeah,
you saw it at the World Juniors. I mean, he was one of their best players, lethal shot. The two-way game is already there. The defensive side is already there. He has come up in big moments for Team Sweden at that tournament. You know, the the goal production is still there, hasn't taken a dip in Djurgården in the SHL. You know, he's got 13 goals already this season, and he's just not slowing down at all. I mean, he plays with a great amount of pace. He's very energetic. He's got that, you know, mindset to him that he wants to get something done and he's going to take charge every single shift, and he does that. You know, he battles hard in the corners. He doesn't give up. He shows no quit no matter what, but that offensive game that he has already plus the defensive side really makes him the ideal prototypical centerman that you could have up in your lineup and be behind Connor Bedard for the foreseeable future. Like them 1-2 already, it's already set in stone, and it's
yeah.
only going to be a matter of time before Frondell makes the jump with the Blackhawks, and he's going to be a big time impact player for them.
100%. I mean, I think he might be over here next year. I don't know. So, I mean, that's a great 1-2 punch. And depending on if maybe this Elias Pettersson stuff happens, they might have really three centers that'd be pretty good. A 1-2-3 there. All right. So make sure to checking out that whole list, our updated top 100 for the midseason. Lots of great prospects, lots of great detail that Logan put in there. So make sure checking that out. And then all of our other stuff at thehogwares.com. We got great content. And of course, our draft content will be rolling out as really quick. After the trade deadline, we're going to have a ton of stuff on the site. So we're working hard on our prospect profiles already and behind the scenes, but they'll be out there before you know it. So keep an eye out. And but until then, we will see you next time.